or good afternoon.
Good evening or good night. um,
Exactly.
I mean, it just is what it is, right? We are here today for our Tuesday coffee chat where we just hang out, drink coffee, pretend like we're holding one another accountable, and get to connect with y'all.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about it. Let's just be honest. Let's just be
Well,
honest.
I like to call spades spades so that if other people find that things are like a little bit like, wait a minute, I thought you said this thing. Like, I like to call me out
Yeah.
before other
Oh yeah.
people have a chance.
See, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. You're a seasoned YouTuber because you just learn, you like have to say things. What was the video I watched of yours? Oh,
Was it the mayonnaise? And I was
yes.
t-
Yes. It was the eggshells going back and forth. You're like, I know I'm not supposed to do this, okay? Chill
I know
out,
you're not
people.
supposed to. But to be honest, I am nothing if not a rebel. Like that is
Oh yeah.
my
We
personality
knew that.
at its core. I'm just a rebel. Like you tell me not to touch the hot stove, and I'm not just gonna touch it. I'm gonna stick my hand on it and stare you down until my flesh burns. So
I feel like I have children like that.
well, some of the rebels are the more tenacious people. So
It's true. It's true.
I love a good tenacious person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so I'm feeling under the weather today. And I thought I would touch on that real quick because my energy is about like a thimble full of the ocean right now. And I'm not exactly sure what happened. Um, we I guess last week at some point, our youngest Lauren, she had some kind of like little sniffly garbage stuff. And I was like, okay, well, that's cute. We're not doing this. So I helped her through all of that. And then on Thursday, all of a sudden, like there was so much pressure behind my eyes that I had to start wearing my glasses to be able to like alleviate some of that pressure. And it was just awful, and it was like watery and nothing was clear. It was just not good all around. And then I started getting the scratchy throat and a little bit of like the head congestion stuff, and I cannot figure out what the catalyst is. There's I don't know. I don't know, and I'm exhausted. So I don't feel like it's allergies truly because I don't know that you feel that tired with allergies. And I never take naps. I took a nap yesterday, which is bizarre for me. So
Yeah. You don't seem like the nap person.
I know the moment that I don't remember who it was. Oh, one of our friends at church, he was talking about how, whenever his alarm goes off on his phone, his first thing that he does is snooze. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
What? Why? And I was so confused
Yeah.
because that's not me. The alarm goes off and I'm immediately like out of the bed like a jack in the box, like popping out of a box. Like I am all
Yeah.
done. And I'm like,
I
let's go.
usually wake up before my alarm.
Yes, same, same. So good.
Yeah.
And so he was confused by me. And I'm like, there's no reason to sit around in bed lingering because there are bodily functions that have to be managed. And then
Mhm.
there's coffee that has to be drunk because
Mm.
like it
Yeah.
I hear the coffee pot go off at about 5:47 a.m. Like that's whenever the water's finally hot enough for it to like start percolating. And I'm like, oh, it's coming.
Isn't that funny? The little joys in life.
Yes, I always look forward to bedtime because that means shortly thereafter there will be coffee time again.
Is hilarious. Yep.
I don't have a
I mean,
problem. Okay.
you
It's
gotta
no
have a reason to wake up. It's like
it was just one of those things like you gotta pop out of bed. Life is waiting for us. Let's go seize the day.
yeah. Okay. Well, speaking of low energy, this is a really good segue, by the way.
Oh,
I brought show and tell, and it's something you already know about. Well, not that I
uh,
brought it, but you already have it. Okay. I was gonna
yeah.
okay, these are energized reds from Performance Gains. And Performance Gains is by Jonathan Shane.
Who we
He is
adore.
he what?
Who we adore.
We do. He is wonderful. I had never looked at his stuff before. I'd heard people talk about the keto road before, but I'd never
Mhm.
looked at his stuff. And we just happened to bomb in on his breakout session at KetoCon.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad we did because
I know.
it was so fun. I loved what he had to say. I love his energy. He's just a really cool guy. And then we bumped into each other again when we were getting our CKMs at KetoCon. And so we got to do that
Yep.
together. That was fun. So
Yeah.
he kind of featured on our videos a few times, our KetoCon videos. And so then, of course, I started following him after I found out he was so wonderful. And he asked if he could send me and you some of the energized reds, because he's a runner,
Yes.
which I am not a runner. So I'm
Same.
hoping that this works for like endurance mothering as well. You think that would be
I
appropriate?
find that to be applicable for sure. Have you tasted it yet?
No, I brought it here to taste on camera. Yes. So I saw your little video yesterday about making it warm like tea.
He
And
did that.
oh, did he do that?
He did that first, and I was like, that is brilliant.
Oh.
That is exactly how I will be using this, hands down.
Okay. I saw him talk about it and I thought he was inspired by you, but I'm glad we
No,
got that figured out. Okay. Anyways, but I made it cold because I tend to like things like this cold. Although
I
I
love
think
the
it's
glass.
like
Is that?
it's one of those palm glasses,
Oh,
which totally works with this with
that's
this color.
adorable.
Anyways, not sponsored, by the way.
By
Not
palm
sponsored
or
by
by.
Energized Reds either. Just, friends sending out a free product.
That's right.
So anyways, I'm gonna taste it. I smelled it and I was like, it's Hawaiian punch. Like that's the flavor. It's supposed to be fruit punch. But
Yeah.
it smelled like my childhood memories of the Hawaiian punch from I don't know, Hawaiian punch. That's all it is. It's Hawaiian punch. Okay, here you go. Here you go. Oh my gosh, that's really
I
good.
know.
Okay.
I know.
Wow, that's really good.
When you try it warm, it tastes like a fruit punch jello that's still like not set yet. Like, like the
Oh,
liquid jello, like it has that viscous kind of texture to it. Oh,
okay.
it was so soothing on my throat.
I
I
could
was like,
make Jello out of this.
yes.
That would be amazing. Or
Yeah.
gummies. Okay, so I have to compare this to the Perfect Keto Super Reds, called
Hmm.
Super Reds.
Yeah.
'Cause that's the only other Reds product I've tried.
Yeah.
Better. Like hands down better. Like
There,
Perfect Keto, they tried real hard, but
I
I'm
think
gonna say
that
if
with,
you want a Reds product, this one tastes way. I can't compare like the ingredients and the quality. Like I
no,
don't really know what to look for, but as far as flavor,
I think though that
this is
does his
amazing.
have collagen in it?
You'd think he'd say that on the title.
I don't think his does. I think his is
Normally
purely
Reds wouldn't have collagen. That was a special thing that Perfect
perfect
Keto
keto.
added.
Yeah. So I do find like they're not exactly comparable apples to apples kind of a
True.
thing. But
True.
I do agree, like the flavor profiles that the perfect keto reds went with, like I actually liked the hibiscus lemonade one. That
Okay.
one, because I kind of like that passion tea kind of feel to it. And it felt like it was, trying to emulate that.
Yeah.
Um, so I really liked that one, but I feel like the energized reds or energized.
Energized.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
feel like that one though, like the flavor was phenomenal, and drinking it hot is like literally incredible for me. But I can also see putting it in just like some plain carbonated water and having it as like a fruit punch soda. Like
Ooh, that would be good.
I think
Okay,
that's,
I am genuinely impressed. Like,
I know,
because
right?
I see this as like a sports, this you
Supplement.
drink it for the gains. You don't drink it for taste. So I didn't have like super high hopes, especially since the Perfect Keto Reds were, fine, but nothing to write
Yeah.
home about. But this is genuinely enjoyable.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, and then I saw that he's coming out with another flavor.
The Sour Patch, like
Sour
very sour.
berry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks, now I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. For me,
Gosh.
I'm not quite as enthusiastic about sour flavors in
Oh, really?
general. Like I like tart, but I don't necessarily like love sour. So I feel like the fruit punch is the spot where I'm gonna be happiest with them. And I did feel like that I drank my regular black coffee in the morning and then I had that energized reds hot like a tea at like, I don't know, it was not quite 10 a.m. And I felt like that kind of helped me carry my fasting a little bit longer without feeling like I had to break my fast right then, even though technically because it's a sweet flavor, it probably did create some kind of a response, but I didn't feel like I needed to eat food the way I was hungry before I took that. So I don't know. It felt like it was a useful tool that I can hold on to my toolbox type of a thing, not an everyday thing probably for me, but definitely amazing.
Okay, so I'm just looking at his website and it looks like the sour berry punch that's coming out, it's not the same product.
Oh,
This is
okay.
energized reds, and that one's called True Endurance Pre-Workout. So different formulation, but I still have high hopes for it being a delicious flavor. All right, I'm going to put the link um, in the chat for
It's a good
anyone
one.
that's interested.
Yeah.
We're
But I
not
mean,
affiliated. He
no,
sent us these to try, but beyond that, that's all we
that's the
that's
long
all
and
we
the short
got.
of it. And he also just like has a really pragmatic way of looking at a keto lifestyle that's not so, I mean, it's pragmatic, it's not dogmatic, which I really appreciated about his presentation at KetoCon.
Yes.
I kind of
Well,
wish that we could have.
he had the courage to say that some people sometimes need some amount of carbs to feel their best.
Right. Yeah.
Like at a keto conference, like that takes courage.
That took a lot of courage or a lot of lack of awareness.
Yeah. Either one, they go hand in hand.
I mean, that's how my courage comes about. Completely
Oh,
unaware. Okay. Maybe we should go ahead and like answer some comments here in the chat.
seriously,
So
it's
we've got,
been going on.
yeah, Laura, she was here very first, and her
Right.
comment was wondering about whether or not I still check uric acid. And she said she read a lot of Dr. Perlmutter's book, Dropping Acid, I'm assuming, Drop Acid.
Mhm.
And she doesn't agree with everything he says, like eat less meat. Not happening. I will check my uric acid about every week or so. I use the Foracare Connect Foracare blood monitor, or it's the Forest 6 Connect, but actually I've moved over to the Test and Go Voice Advance or Advanced Voice or whatever. They do all four different testings that they have strips for: the blood glucose, blood ketones, the uric acid, and total cholesterol, which I thought I was going to be more interested with the total cholesterol strips. And I'm not quite as like interested by them because it's just the amount of total cholesterol free flowing in your body at that given moment in time. So that's just like it's not really a super important number to me. Um, but the uric acid strips, those are very interesting. And yes, I do still test probably about 7 to 10 days, I would say, is my regularity with that. And it's pretty interesting. And I've noticed my uric acid numbers, they fluctuate a lot, a lot. Even if I'm not eating things like pecans, which will, spike my uric acid, I will still have like mass fluctuations. So like more than 2 points worth of fluctuation. So that's pretty big deal. And I mean like whole points, not decimals of a point. So it's
I
interesting.
still haven't checked mine. I need to because I have the thingies and I can do it. It's just another thing to think about.
Yeah, it is. It is. Um,
Um, can you make me a moderator or whatever it is so that I can
yes.
post the link? I posted it and I can see it on my chat, but then it doesn't actually show up
There we go.
on anybody else's.
So sorry.
No worries. No
Let's see if
worries.
that works this go around. And then we've got Gary here. and Blaze and Judy and Brenda and Rick when y'all are all here. Hey, Nicole. So excited that y'all are all here today. Um, and what was the question I just read but couldn't focus on? So Nicole asked, how did my butter mayo hold up? And it did thicken up quite a bit more. So I wish I would have put the third egg white into it. Oh, no. Are you frozen, Nili? Oh.
Okay, I'm back. It popped when you made me a moderator. It popped up a thing on my phone that I had to hit, got it or okay, and then it kicked me out.
Okay.
Thanks a lot,
You
YouTube.
like went frozen, like your shoulder was like in this one position, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening. But so the
Okay,
butter
now
mayo, it worked out really, really well. I will say that because you use, I'm sorry, I've got eyelash twisted up into my own eye. Because you only use half a cup of or half a cup butter to the whole, like to the one whole egg, your volume is significantly smaller than with like a regular oil-based mayonnaise. Like my avocado oil, I can get between 1 and 1.5 cups of avocado oil into mayonnaise with only one egg. So I feel like my volume is much like higher, obviously, than it is with the butter mayo, but I didn't want to push it too far with that trial.
Well, that would make the butter mayo higher protein.
Technically,
right?
you're right.
So, I mean, for whom that's important,
That
it's
is
a bonus.
that is a bonus for sure.
It's a feature.
But it works out beautifully, and I still am able to like squeeze it out of my squeeze bottle. I was a little bit worried about that, thinking if I get this in here and it does not come out, I'm going to either have to butter knife this tube or I'm going to have to melt it down and then call it a loss. So it has worked out quite nicely, and the girls love it. Like it is so tasty.
And so basically the difference is you separate the egg and you emulsify with the yolk, and then you just mix in the white after. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. I haven't sat down and watched the whole like 25-minute video. There's a fly that doesn't want to leave me alone. But that was the gist that I noticed.
Yeah. It's all about
and that makes all the difference.
For some reason. And when we were living at the old house before this house, I tried making butter mayonnaise, and I did it with my regular whole egg. So I had the yolk and the white in there, and I did literally everything that I would normally, and it still turned out hard as a rock. For some reason, separating that white away from the yolk in order to blend and then adding it back in, like that technique, it's kind of like with your frozen butter technique. You can add butter to egg white bread that's melted, and it'll give you a result. But freezing that butter, that one little tiny technique difference makes a massive change in the whole recipe.
That's so crazy. I wonder how he knew that.
Now that I don't know.
What chemistry did he have in his mind where he was like, this is going to work?
That part I don't.
Because a lot of times things that I do, they are accidents. And I'm like, oh my gosh, wow, I did not expect that.
That was unexpected.
If I actually had a background in food science, I could, organically come up with these ideas. But for me, it's usually like, oh, oops.
I tend to abide in the oops spectrum with a bit of food science tacked on. I've got enough food science awareness to be just kind of dangerous, but not really.
Exactly. Yeah, dangerous enough that you know the things that you could try. For some people, they're like, I never would have thought to even
try
that. But you have enough information that you're like, let's try this.
Yes.
Great.
Yes. And I never made mayo with just the yolks as a regular thing, just because to me it seemed a little bit excessive to be separating the things out. And I have, had very good success keeping the whites in there, and the whites are obviously more of a water base instead of a fat base. So that's the whole purpose in emulsifying the things together. You're trying to combine fats with water, and it's just one of those things where if
Yep.
I would have only pressed a little bit of a different direction, I probably could have done it, but I
Yeah,
didn't.
but like, why would you think to do that?
I
Why?
mean,
And
I'm
that's like,
always looking I am
it's so, go ahead.
I'm always looking for the most efficient, fewest number of dishes way to get the, like anything done.
Yeah.
It bothers me tremendously to have to go in and use all of the measuring cups or use all of the spoons or use all of these things, which is why I love reverse measuring on the scale and having
Oh, yeah.
the weights
That's
on.
amazing.
It's just one of those things. Like I can't mess up all of the things. Or if I have to get 1 teaspoon of something and then a quarter teaspoon of another thing, I'm going to only use the quarter teaspoon and I'm going to do it 4 times, even though I could just pull out multiple spoons. No, I'm not doing it. I can't. I cannot. I want like 6 dishes, not 18.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Somebody said, let's see. Blaze says that Chris said in his vlog today that he's a professional home baker that learned from his mom. So yeah, I heard him say something about being learning from his mom and his grandma, I think. But then he also said something about having a bakery at some point.
Yeah.
So I mean, and maybe he didn't go to school for it, but he's done it professionally. Well, he says professional home baker. I don't know, whatever.
I think though that if
Did
you've
you see?
operated if you've operated some kind of a business in the food industry, that qualifies you as some kind of a professional.
Yes, maybe he did it from his home. That would
Maybe.
make sense if he's a professional home baker.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that would add
Kind
up.
of like Alicia does now, Keto Upgrade.
Yeah.
She still takes orders, but I think she does it from her house.
Mm.
So did you look at his brioche bun recipe
So
video?
I started to watch that yesterday and then I fell asleep.
That's weird.
That's how you know Lindsay's under the weather is Lindsay wound up taking a nap yesterday.
Oh dear. Oh dear. It's bad.
That's it's bad. Like as soon as I get out of bed, and then my husband he takes a little bit longer to sort of like come out of bed and get himself moving, and then once he's fully evacuated the bed, I go back in and I make it because I am a bed maker. I know not everybody
Mm,
is. I
yeah.
don't really have anything to say about it regardless, but I have to make my bed in the morning and it has to be like it's one of those control things. Like I'm not a hyper controlling person, but on the bed,
Mm,
I got to have that sorted out. Otherwise, my entire brain is a complete jumbly mess and I cannot function.
okay.
It's my own little quirk and
Yep.
I embrace it.
It's
And
not a bad
so
quirk. Like of
once
all the things.
yeah, it's better than popping pills. I don't know.
Seriously.
But once the bed is made, it is done. Like children do not come and run and sit on my bed. Like we have 1,000
Mm,
places. You could sit anywhere in this entire house. Choose any place other than my bed because
okay. Okay.
all like tidy and it's done. Like
Yeah.
there's no reason to go back to bed. But so yesterday I grabbed a blanket and I went and laid down in my own bed. And I was like, I'm not even gonna unmake the bed. I'm not really
Mhm.
here to sleep. Like I'm just here to like just completely lay down in a spot where children will probably find me, but may not may think like, oh, mom's in bed. That's weird. We're not gonna bother her. So, and I went to sleep. So I
That's
have not
amazing.
seen that there's purpose in the story. I haven't
Oh no.
officially watched his
Okay.
video.
Yeah, so he did something that I have been wanting to like experiment with, but I hadn't like gotten it done. So now like there's a recipe that he's perfected using the combination of cooked eggs
Uh-huh.
and the egg white powder. Because I did when I did my video of condensed egg whites and making the bread without egg white powder,
Yeah.
I wanted to see if I could do it in the oven just so it'd be more accessible to people and put it
Mhm.
down to that 170 degrees, the lowest. And it
Right.
almost worked, but it cooked the eggs enough that it didn't quite work. And I got a really interesting like pound cake texture on the bread. And so I was like, there's something there, with like how the protein changes in
Right.
cooked eggs versus raw eggs. And so he used that technique where he cooked some, like scrambled them in a pan and then blended them, kind of like the egg pudding, and then mixed that with the whipped egg whites. And he was able to make like this nicely browned loaf or buns without any allulose. So and he used a half a stick of melted butter in the dough, and it worked.
That's awesome. I'm gonna have
Anyways, I'm gonna have to
to
try that.
actually watch the video without falling asleep the next time.
Yeah, if you can.
If I can. I know I can. It's just a matter of just do it. That is really cool though.
Yeah, I love it. I like he's got his brain just thinks in a little bit different of a way. So like a lot of the ingredients that he uses are the same as what I use, but then he like has these little things that I'm like, I never would have thought to do that.
Yeah.
And like I love that. I love how like we all bring our own like perspective and the way our brains work. And we come up with better things when we, all work on it together. So I love
Yeah.
it.
Yes. Definitely agree. He's definitely got a not a backwards way of looking at it, but like the opposite side of a coin to look at the same things for
Yeah.
technique. I feel like his real his real like his like how do you say this, the value add with him is not like this is not the only value add, but like sort of like the most prominent one right now that I can see is like he really can find alternate techniques with what we've already been doing and find fun new ways to make it work.
Yeah. Well, and I also like that he's 100% carnivore. So he's pushing himself to do all of these things with all carnivore ingredients,
Yeah.
which if you're not pushed to do it, like by that restriction, like for
It's
example,
not wrong.
yeah, exactly. My egg white wraps, I never would have thought to use gelatin, except that all of a sudden I couldn't have xanthan gum.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like a restriction on me that helped stimulate my brain to go a little bit further and
Mhm.
find something else. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. I definitely I find a lot of inspiration with like comments saying like could you substitute something different? Like that question alone will always cause my brain to think, well, okay, if this works like this, how could then this work like that? And
right.
all of those different things, and I don't know, it just all kind of works out really cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we've missed some more
Yeah.
stuff
So
things.
Rita is here. It's her first time on a live with us. So welcome, Rita.
Yay, welcome.
We just sit and chat about whatever happens to be on our minds or come up from,
Yeah,
your guys' chats or what's been going on with us, and we just enjoy it.
indeed.
Well, and this week, so for those of you that don't know, Lindsey and I are on Marco Polo and we talk back and forth. Sometimes we'll just talk all day and all week long. And then other
Yep.
times it's like we get busy with life and I'm like, I haven't heard from Lindsey in a while. And so this past week we haven't really talked much. So I was like really looking forward to our chat today. Like, I wonder how Lindsey is doing.
Lindsay's doing meh.
Yeah, and then I find out that Lindsey's not doing great and she took a nap. I mean, terrible.
The world almost stopped spinning because that happened, you know.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was a real thing.
yeah. I could feel it. I
I
could
know.
feel the disturbance in the
Exchange
force.
student 2, if you are still here, you had the comment, perfect keto. Do you recommend the MCT canister or the collagen one? I would ask a follow-up question to your question. What are you hoping to get? Because if you're hoping to increase fat, I would suggest MCT oil powder. If you're just looking for like hair, skin, nail supplement type of a thing, a little bit of boost in those types of proteins, then the collagen would be the way to go. And then the hardest decision to make is, do you choose strawberry or do you choose salted caramel? So
Strawberry.
obviously.
Obviously. That wasn't hard.
Well, salted
Unless you
caramel is
want to
my
put it in coffee. Unless you're putting it in coffee, then don't choose strawberry probably.
I tried that. And it was an experience. I've
Yeah.
also tried raspberry salt from Element in my coffee, thinking
Okay. Okay.
along the lines of like Joe and Rachel from Two Crazy Ketos. They do the straw or the raspberry cheesecake keto chow
Uh-huh.
as like a little
Uh-huh.
splash of flavor in their coffee. Sorry, I just blanked. Um and so I was thinking raspberry is a complementary flavor with
Huh?
coffee. What if we did this raspberry salt? But the raspberry salt is more of a tart raspberry
Okay.
than a sweet, creamy raspberry, the way that raspberry cheesecake from Keto Chow is. So it floated like a lead balloon.
Yeah. Okay. All right. One thing I wanted to talk about with the MCT versus the collagen. From Perfect Keto, their collagen is unique compared to other collagens on the market. They call it keto collagen, and I think the reason they call it keto collagen is
They add
because it actually has some MCT oil powder in it. So it's like, I don't know, 3 or 5 grams of fat per scoop. Whereas if you buy just a collagen supplement from almost anybody else, it's going to have zero fat. It's going to be like
pure
all
protein.
protein, amino acids, collagen. So that's just something to be aware of. People don't, I didn't realize it for the longest time until I actually looked at the nutrition facts. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never had a collagen that had fat in it. That's so.
Right.
So when people ask me, do I get the collagen or the MCT? Well, if you want the benefits of both, get the collagen because it actually has both in it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they're all good. All the flavors are delicious. I mean, for
Except
the most
cinnamon
part.
toast. Don't do cinnamon
Oh, you don't
toast.
like it?
No.
Oh, did I like it in my egg yolk waffles?
Yeah, it's a no.
Okay, all right. Well, that's fine. We don't have to like everything the same. It's okay.
I mean, because I don't like that one, that means there's plenty more for others to
It's
have.
true. It's true.
I
Yeah.
was a little bit dismayed. So they opened up their Memorial Day sale yesterday,
Yeah.
and before I posted my video about it, I actually went on I'd made my video and it was going through the process of uploading onto YouTube, and I immediately went over and started placing my order. I got to my strawberry collagen, strawberry MCT oil powder. Strawberry was gone. At
Really?
the moment, strawberry was not highlighted. I could not click on strawberry for the collagen at all
That's
because I thought
weird.
to myself, well, I've got one full canister on the shelf. I should go through and get one more. The collagen, I, I was a little bit crushed in my
Okay.
stomach.
Was the
That
MCT oil powder there? The strawberry?
I had
Because
somebody
I got
comment.
that as a free gift
I had
with my
someone
order.
comment saying that it was not available for the MCT oil powder. Hang on.
That's weird. Why would they give it as a free gift if they're not selling it? That seems mean. Oh, weird.
Well, I'm thinking maybe the collagen one, and I need to go back and double check because I was
Yeah.
also trying to navigate children and all of their very, very important requirements. But I also thought to myself, like, I wonder if it's just unhighlighted right now because they're getting so many orders that they're trying to stop more people from ordering more until they can verify that they've got the stock. Like, you know how sometimes things just kind of go a little bit faster than they expect,
Yeah.
and the times they don't. Oh no, strawberry, vanilla, and cinnamon toast collagen are presently unhighlighted. Let me do the
Oh.
shop all. We're fine. We're looking, people. I am looking.
Mhm.
Um, MCT oil powder, and it's showing buy on Amazon.
Oh,
And
someone mentioned that. I think Risa mentioned that where she went to
yeah,
buy something and it kicked her to Amazon.
which is
I don't know
weird
what the
because
deal is with that.
the Memorial Day sale is for everything. So I wonder.
See, I wonder if there's like Amazon sells it and they have a certain amount of stock. And if it's out of stock on their website, but it is in stock on Amazon, they just send you over there just so you can find it at least. But maybe it's out of stock at their warehouse or something.
That's possible. Or
But
like
then
I would
are you
imagine
going to
that,
get the sale? Like you wouldn't get the sale price, which is the whole reason we're here.
right. Yeah,
So yeah.
so I wound up not getting any more strawberry MCT oil powder, and I wound up not being able to get my MCT oil or my strawberry collagen powder. So I'm gonna have to ration until the next 40% off sale.
Yeah. I thankfully did not need any MCT oil powder or collagen. I stocked up on bars. That
I
was what
did.
I was
I grabbed a
doing.
couple of the. I grabbed some Nola bars. I grabbed Mallow Munch, and I did grab some of just the straight up keto bars, which I wasn't originally going to, but then I
Yes.
thought, no, 12 in a box. That's a much better deal.
They're big.
Um,
They're a lot bigger than the Nola
Nola bar,
bars.
but the girls they
So I could eat
love
like a half of one and be fine.
really.
Yeah,
So
like for a dessert, not for like a whole meal or anything, but
sure. The girls love the Nola bars. Like they go
yeah,
gaga over them. So it was one of those
they're
situations where
good.
we're going to be going all summer long, doing a bunch of different things, having a bunch of different, activities and things. I'm just going to go ahead. They keep for a long time, shelf stable, it works. So
Yes. What
uh,
flavor did you get of the keto bars? And have you tried keto bars before?
I
Because
have.
okay,
And
there's
like
the
from the fridge,
plant-based keto bars,
the witch?
the plant-based ones, and
No,
they're
the
called
original.
keto bars, and then the other ones are also called keto bars, which is confusing.
It is confusing. I've tried the original ones and I just like straight up
Quick
chocolate
keto
chip.
bars. Okay, chocolate chip cookie dough.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one's good.
I
Have you
like
tried the peanut butter chocolate chip?
I have not tried that one, but I've tried like the peanut butter or yeah, the peanut Nola bars, and I don't know why people are so enthusiastic about those. That's
Oh,
like my least favorite of them
yeah.
all.
I think
There's
it would be better if it had chocolate chips or something in it.
something to break up that peanut flavor. I
Yeah.
think that the super large pieces of peanuts in the Nola bar is really like
Okay.
the major turnoff for me personally. The
Okay.
maple pecan one, that one is really good, but for some reason the white macadamia nut one just always wins out for us.
Good. It's good. Okay. Well, the peanut butter chocolate chip, perfect keto bars, hands down my favorite. They're so good. They're so good, and they do have a few bigger pieces of peanut in them, but they're mostly smooth.
Sure. I
Yeah,
find
or
that like
crumbly, kind of crumbly.
peanut butter is one of those flavor profiles for me that it's like, yeah, it's nice to have with something else, but to
Mm,
have it just be like straight peanut butter, I'm not like
okay.
getting out of bed for a straight peanut butter thing.
What about with the chocolate?
With chocolate, I would be much more like I will pick chocolate over peanut butter every day.
Mm, okay. Okay. Good to know.
So it
Good to
has to be
know.
a lot of chocolate with a little peanut action,
Ah,
or just like I just it cannot be like the dominant flavor.
okay. Okay. So Reese's peanut butter cups, they have all kinds of varieties now, and they have some that are like thin, so it's a lot of chocolate and just a little bit of peanut butter, and then they have the big cups that are like
Uh-huh.
an inch of peanut butter and like just a little, the regular chocolate around it. I
Uh,
like those. I like a lot of peanut butter and a little bit of chocolate. That's probably why I love the peanut butter chocolate chip bars.
probably.
Yeah. Yeah. But I do
Good.
need the little bit of chocolate in there. I don't think I would like it if it was just straight.
Straight peanut butter. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I'm
Okay.
glad we got that all figured out.
Well, major world problems have been resolved today.
Seriously. Seriously. All right. Did anybody else order Perfect Keto for the sale? Let's see. Oh, Lori said she was able to get the strawberry MCT oil powder as a free gift. Yeah, that's so weird that it would not be in stock and then they're offering it as a free gift.
Yeah.
That's
That
crazy.
that is a choice, isn't it? So Blaze asked, did I order a grapefruit element yet? No. And I tell you what, before or was like okay. I'm obsessed with chocolate salt right now. like
Mm.
obsessed.
In
And Jared's
coffee?
favorite flavor, huh?
In coffee or in water?
Yeah, coffee.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not drinking it in coffee right now. I'm having to ration myself here on those
Yeah.
things because if if I were left to my own devices, I would probably drink like 5 to 7 element packets a day. And that seems a little excessive.
Just a little bit.
Just if you can't make it last a week, then maybe you're doing it wrong. So
Mm.
I'm trying to ration myself on the chocolate, but I went ahead and I ordered 3 chocolate, and Jared loves the raspberry salt right now. So
Mm.
I ordered that one, and I need to go in and bite the bullet and get some grapefruit because of the fact that everybody says that it's literally amazing.
Did you see what Jared said?
He says, I hope my wife considers my flavor preference when choosing our perfect keto order.
Jared, what's your favorite flavors of all the perfect keto things? I would like to know. I'd like to know. I know you guys all love the honey nut cereal.
Yes, we've got so much of that.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah.
It gets used a lot. I did order more chocolate cereal and more cinnamon cereal. And then I got the chocolate mallow munch and the peanut butter mallow munch. I did not buy any of the plain. No, maybe that's not right. I don't remember now. It'll be an adventure when the box shows up. How about that?
Isn't that fun? Where you like forget what you ordered. I love that.
Yeah. I
It's
actually got
a Christmas present from myself.
I got something in the mail yesterday that I did not order. I've never ordered from Jane.com, but I got something from Jane. And it didn't say like Jane.com, it just said Jane. And I'm like, what is this? What is this? I open it up and it's like a Gymshark workout shirt that's extra small that is not going to sort itself out for me, and a pair of Bombas socks. I am so confused, but it was to me with our correct address and everything on there. And I'm like, why? What is this thing? What is this thing?
That is
It's so
very
bizarre.
strange.
So I got
That it would have your name on it. It's so
yeah,
weird.
but there was no manifest inside. There was no order sheet, no receipt, no nothing. And I'm like, I got nothing here. I don't
That
even
is
know.
very strange. Very, very strange.
And the fact that it was like not even an appropriate size for my body. Like,
Yeah.
I know something weird's going on there. Must have
Something
been
doesn't check me out.
I don't know.
That's very strange.
I got nothing. But there's that.
Sylvia says she mixes the peanut butter and chocolate MCT powder in her coffee. Peanut butter cup coffee.
Wow.
That's legit.
I'm gonna let you enjoy that one all by yourself.
I would do it in hot chocolate, like a peanut butter hot chocolate.
I could see
Because
that
I'm
maybe
not
a
the
little
big
more.
coffee person.
Yeah, like I like chocolate in coffee. Like the chocolate mint element is actually probably my absolute most favoritist of the chocolates. But
Uh-huh.
I don't know that I would want to do chocolate and peanut butter in coffee. We're all
Yeah,
different.
it wouldn't be the coffee choice for me, but I mean, it is a popular, like when you go to specialty
Combo.
coffee shops and they have all the different, you know, sweet flavored drinks. I feel like peanut butter cup is a common one that people enjoy.
Sure.
So we're just weird.
You're not
It's
wrong.
us. It's not anybody
The
else.
problem is us.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
me.
I'm used to it. That's the way it always is.
That's very, very valid. Okay. Um,
Let's see. Rickwin said that she didn't order perfect keto this time, already have plenty and want to use up what I have first. That is very smart. And yes, there will be the Black Friday sale. If you get your act together and you just plan out your year, just get everything on Black Friday and do it like in like 2 or 3 orders so you get the free
free
gift with
gift each time.
5 items. Yeah. I mean, you do that, you're golden for the year.
It's a good way to go.
Say that again.
It's a good way to go.
It is. I mean, if you can, budget and have the money available and you like think through like how much of this do I use each month and all that. So Equip has a Memorial Day sale, and I don't know that it's started
Oh,
yet,
that's interesting. I thought they didn't really
but
do sales.
they do.
Okay.
It's a little bit different of a setup than Perfect Keto. I feel like most of their sales they only do through their affiliates. So if you're following someone, I feel well,
Like your bundles.
maybe I'm not knowing what I'm talking about, but yeah. So because they'll send out an email saying this sale is coming up. Do you want in? And you have to like opt in to get a special discount code. So I don't
Oh.
know. It's different. But their prime protein is not included in the sale because they were low on stock, which is why I'm really glad that I just did the sale with them, the 72-hour sale, because they included the prime protein in that. And I'm hoping everyone's stocked up then
Yeah.
because the Memorial Day sale, it's on everything else. And I mean, their star product is the prime protein.
Yeah. Well, I mean, whenever it's like beef based as opposed to whey based,
Uh,
that makes such a significant difference for people who are whey intolerant.
yes. Yes. Because there's 1,000 options for dairy based protein powders and meal
Oh
replacement
yeah.
shakes. I mean, it's easy, but when it
Right.
comes to the beef, there's not a lot out there. And I'm surprised that there's not more competing with Equip. I mean,
Sure.
Keto Chow Core, I think, is one, but there's not really a lot of others. And it could just be that the ingredients are hard to source
You know,
or just expensive. Something like that.
I had the fleeting thought of I wonder how one goes about making a beef protein isolate. Like milk protein isolate, I understand. Like you have that sort of imagination piece in place for how that could work. But to do it with a beef protein isolate, the only thing that I could fathom is basically like taking carnivore crisps, their beef flour, and adding other stuff
Uh,
to it. But I'm like, I
But
don't
then
think
it
that's how
tastes
it
like
works.
beef. Then it tastes like beef. And I think that would be a little bit gritty.
It would be undesirable.
Yeah.
I just
We'll
I
save
don't have
that
it
for
in
other
my
things.
head. Yeah.
Yeah.
I I just I need some kind of like a process to understand how that works so that I can then like put it all together in my brain.
Yeah.
Jared did say that he is on board with peanut butter alone or with chocolate. So it sounds like I will be making another order to
Uh-oh.
ensure that he has. Oh, okay, Jared, I did buy the Mallow Munch, but you're gonna have to ration yourself.
I have to do that with Jeff too. Like not put them all out at once or else he'll take like 4. And I'm like, we can't afford this.
So ours live in the basement in a basket that
Mm.
is accessible to. Oh, Jared took away a
Uh-oh.
comment,
Uh-oh.
sir.
Now I want to know
Pardon,
what that was.
pardon me.
Oh, Lynette's here.
Yay,
Now
Lynette.
the party can finally start.
We were getting a little bit worried. We're getting antsy over here at the
Yeah, we
party.
got no Chris, no Miriam, no
I know.
Joe.
What is the deal? It's like everybody's doing their job or something.
That sounds boring.
That sounds lame. I bet you Joe's probably off like scuba diving somewhere.
Probably.
But so
Probably doing something awesome.
the basement zone has like the prepackaged individual like shelf stable snacks because if they are up in the main floor it's going to be a big problem, namely for me who is not a moderator. And so it's like those things are way too expensive to only have like available all the time. It's just not the right application. So I keep them in the basement and they're high up enough to where it's like you have to actually like try to go in there. It's not like the kids are going to stumble in there and be like, "Oh, look, my
Oops.
face fell onto a Nola bar." It's going to have to be like they're reaching up into it. Um, but Jared is hilarious. Like in the evenings, he likes to go to the storage closet space and find whatever happens to be available at the time. And so whenever we had the Mallow Munch bars, those were happening a lot. Or he would take a couple to work with him, or if he had to go on a trip or something like that, I'd be like, well, here, take some of these things. And here's a bag of
Mhm.
cereal and here's a this and here's that, like just sending them with him because overseas you can't get the same kinds of products that you can get here.
Right.
And to find or to satisfy that that little bit of a snacky thing whenever, time zones are different and options are different. I was like, just take these things. Take the dog food, which is what we call the perfect keto cereal, and take these little things to help get you through. Um and so like we go through them pretty consistently, and I just have not bought the Mallow Munch in forever because it was one of those things. Stairs and doors don't stop me.
And high shelves.
No, because he's the tallest of us all. But he may not be willing to stoop down low and dig through a bin. So
Try that. See how it works.
I tell you what, ever since like finding perfect keto products and then working with Keto Chow and really getting into Keto Chow, he has
Mhm.
become like the one who's like, we got to have this thing now. I need to have my thing.
Mhm.
What thing did you make for me today? What thing? Like last week's live stream, we talked about the chocolate peanut butter flavor. And so
Yes.
then Jay said, but I want that. And I'm like, okay, I got a chocolate peanut butter coming your way. So I had that for him. And then yesterday he goes, so what flavor? Or no, it was 2 days ago. It was 2 days ago. I was like, well, I made some key lime pie and then I made some raspberry cheesecake. And he's like, I need my thing. I have to have my thing.
Well, Jeff is also loving the keto chow. Like totally, I totally did not expect it because he's not a sweets person, first of all.
Sure.
He likes more salty, crunchy things, but he has gotten obsessed with the chocolate peanut butter. And, I didn't have very many of the actual chocolate peanut butter packets. And I'm like, I, you have to like eat some of the other ones that we have. Like we have so many of the
Right.
other
We need
flavors.
to go through our
But then
stack and then we can replenish.
exactly. And so I started making the just because I have a big bag of chocolate, and so I add the peanut flour to that. So then extend it. And then I also a long time ago, when Perfect Keto first started selling the health code shakes, have you seen those?
I've heard of those, but I've never actually like tried them.
Yeah, I ordered them, at that point because I was just curious. Dr. Ben Bickman helped develop them, and I love his work. Anyways, so I got them a long time ago, but I'm not a shake person, so I tried them, but I didn't use them up. And so I was like, so I have these other shakes, Jeff, and we could add peanut butter to the chocolate one. So you could try that. And he's like, no, save those for the apocalypse or until we run out of keto chow. Okay. So he's really on board with the keto chow, especially the chocolate peanut butter.
It's so funny, like the way that the husbands, like they are like kind of not in tune with all of the things that we do all day, every day. And then once they kind of get exposed to something or we start doing something new, then all of a sudden they're like, this is my world now. This is how I live. Therefore, I must have this standard of life henceforth
Uh,
forevermore. So where's my
yeah.
thing?
Well, and I do think that meeting Chris and Miriam, like if you're on the fence about keto chow, just meet them and you'll be like, all right, I'm in.
I know. They're incredible. I am just like,
If you buy into keto chow, you like buy into them. And it's
mhm.
like, okay, yep, I'm in.
I mean, and they do really like the transparency factor with them is probably like pretty high on my list of the character traits that they experience or that they express that just
Yeah.
really clicks in my brain. I'm like, you know what? They do have to support a family and they do have to support other workers, but they
Mhm.
also are just like so hyper focused on integrity and how to share that with the world that I am all sold out for that. Like if you have integrity while still trying to feed your family, I'm in. I'm in.
Yeah, 100%. And there are
They were
enough
good.
companies out there, even keto companies, that have no integrity and are just, trying to slap the keto label on to make a buck. It's like,
Mhm.
forget those.
Yeah,
Like,
not worth it. Not worth it.
oh, yeah.
Okay, Nicole said
Mm.
that Active Stacks protein powder is beef based.
Okay,
So that's
good to
one
know.
interesting one to have to go check out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exchange Two says that they're going to try the lava cake with keto chow, the one that I posted. I did equip.
mhm.
I'm almost 100% sure it will work great with keto chow. That recipe is so versatile in what flours you can use. I've made it with so many different ones, and it just always works. So I have no doubt that keto chow in it will be delicious. And you could even like add flavored keto chow because the base is the Lily's chocolate chips. So it's already got the chocolate flavor. And you could add, raspberry cheesecake, keto chow, or, like chocolate mint or, something and make a
Anything
different
that goes with
flavor.
chocolate.
That would be, yeah, that would be delicious. So I recommend it.
So I just had a thought, like, what would happen if you did? It's gonna be weird.
Okay. All right. I'm ready.
But we're here for it.
Here.
What if there was the beef flour in
Yes.
the
I
mug?
bet it would work. I bet it would work.
I'm curious
Actually,
what the flavor would be like.
yeah, so the beef brownies that I made, it's actually the recipe is very similar to the lava cake recipe. And like I wouldn't say like if I tasted it not knowing there was beef flour in it, I'd be like,
Yeah,
these brownies are a little different. I wonder what that is. But I don't think I'd be like, oh wow, that's beef, you know?
yeah.
So, anyways.
That as a note to try out someday. My list of ideas of things that I want to try out someday are like the list is growing and growing and growing. And I'm like, the family still actually needs to be fed and needs to be directed, and there needs to be laundry done and floors cleaned. And, like I don't expect my children to be the only ones doing work around here. So I need to do some of
Oh,
that.
I do.
You have so many more to spread the
That's true.
workload
That's
amongst.
the only reason I had so many. They do all the work.
But it's one of those things where it's like I've got all the ideas, and then like there's other things that have to happen around here. So
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
someday,
Yes.
someday, Jack is here. We're
Oh,
glad that she
yay.
got towards the end. She said that she made it
Yay.
towards the end,
Yep.
and then Chris, we did speak your name a couple of times, and maybe you've become Beetlejuice. I don't know.
Yeah.
That could be
It
possible.
worked. Yes. It worked.
It did. Also, we missed Alan. Hey, Alan.
Yeah.
And who else have we not said hello to? Can you please like say, hey, I'm still here if we missed your name in the chat? Because honestly, like it drives my brain a little bit nuts that I forget somebody whenever I'm scrolling and the chat's moving faster than my brain or I get distracted.
Nicole D.
Yes.
She said that she got her order in with Perfect Keto and got some strawberry MCT oil powder. Oh, because it was on a weekly sale. I was gonna mention Perfect Keto's weekly deals
Uh-huh.
are pretty good. So
And those
you
you
can
can
get like
usually
40.
stack.
Say that again. Stack, yes. At least sometimes. I still have not figured out. Linda says there's no sound. Can other
Uh-oh.
people hear it? Anyways, I'll keep talking. Their weekly sales are really good. 40% off, and then sometimes you can stack a 20% code on top of that. Okay, Lynette says she's getting sound. Okay.
Hey Linda, if you would like exit
Can't
out of the
hear you.
video and then maybe come back in and see if that changes the situation for you. If you can hear us. Oh my goodness, we should have texted that.
Okay. We got one question that says, can we use your code for ET and T as in the drink? What is that? ET. Linda's got it back now. That's good.
Oh, yay, Linda. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Which comment are you looking at?
Donella Donaldson says, can we use your code for ETEA? What does that mean? clarification would be helpful. Because we were talking about Perfect Keto, we were talking about the Equip sale. So I'm not
Maybe
sure.
she meant the MCT oil powder. Like maybe it was like a talk to text kind of a thing.
Maybe. All right.
Help
Well,
us
if
out,
you're still
Donna.
here,
Help
tell
us
us
out.
what it was that you were wanting to know about.
Hello,
Let's
Andy.
see.
Andy said hi. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
hi.
And
Andy.
didn't she ask a question? Oh, she was asking about if the MCT oil powder and the collagen from Perfect Keto spikes our blood sugar or, messes up our ketosis. What do you have any
So
thoughts on that?
I have not noticed any negative impacts on my blood readings.
Okay.
And it's been a while since I've done the CGM from NutriSense. So it's difficult for my brain to like scroll back that many months. And I do not recall there being any kind of major shift in my numbers, but that is kind of like a like an individualized kind of a thing. So just
Mhm.
because things didn't really seem to create issues for me specifically, doesn't mean that that's going to be like a blanket for everybody, like statement for everybody. Um, but if enough people say that it didn't, then I would be more inclined to think that it doesn't. And that's sort of where I sit with that. But I
Okay.
also don't have I do not have MCT oil powder every single day, and I do not have the collagen every single day. I do tend to like rotate through different things and not just like always, always, always have this one thing every single day.
Right. Okay. And for me, I feel like I need to test it specifically because I'm the same. I don't
Sure.
have it every day because now that it's summer, I'll probably start making more drinks like with the strawberry MCT oil powder, like we did last summer. You made that amazing cream soda.
Yes,
I need
strawberry
to make that
creamsicle
again.
soda stuff. Oh my stars.
There are so many good drinks right now, like, the energized reds now. But then I drink Element all day long, so it's like there's not enough time in the day for all these amazing drinks.
And
It's
there's not enough
ridiculous.
space in your palate for all of the good flavors.
Yeah.
Like you wind up not appreciating the individual goodness of something when you're always having something else. And
Yeah.
yeah, we got to get back
Yeah.
in the
So
rotation habit.
anyways, I was gonna say I need to do a better test on the blood sugar. There was one time where I had MCT oil powder in my yogurt and I got a little higher reading than I
Huh.
expected, but that was just a one-off thing. And I need to go back and test again because there are those, where your blood sugar goes up for some other reason and it correlates correlation, not causation.
Yeah.
So I have not gone back and just tested it,
Solo.
carefully. Yeah.
Okay. Question. So that was with your El Ruderi fermented dairy yogurt,
Yeah.
or was that with a different thing?
It was with one of the SIBO, like probably a mix. I don't remember which one
Sure.
but yeah.
Sure. Okay.
But normally I don't have
A
a
response.
blood sugar spike from that because
Okay.
I've had it with Keto Chow, with Equip, with all
Yeah.
different things, and I don't normally have a spike.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think it was like a
Sure.
random thing, but I can't say for sure because I haven't gone back and tested it. Andy also asked if we think that Equip breaks a fast, and I assume you're talking about the prime protein. And I would say yes, it's a protein. So if you were going for like autophagy, I would say it breaks a fast in that way. Same as a collagen would.
Yeah.
It kind of depends on what your goal is for the fast. Because there are some people that will say, well, anything under 50 calories doesn't break a fast. But it kind of depends on if you're really going for autophagy, I wouldn't even touch anything that had protein in it,
Mm-hmm.
even collagen, anything like that. So yeah, that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But there are different kinds of fasts. So
Sure. Sure. I mean, and if you're just like dirty fasting and you keeping it under 50 grams or 50, not grams, what? 50 calories,
Yeah.
you probably are going to be okay. But yeah, if you're
Yeah.
definitely trying to make your body whip into shape, I would actually just stick with like black coffee and plain water.
Yeah. And the thing with, adding stuff to the coffee, it's like, thinking about, does it do something negative to your fast? But then also think about, does it stimulate your appetite?
Ooh, yeah.
Because and both of those things could be connected, but, it for some people, like for me, taking athletic greens helps me extend my fast. For some people, it does the opposite. So you kind of have to know what your goals are for the fast, first of all, and then how your body responds. If, you're starting to feel hungry and you have a coffee with 2 teaspoons of, the Equip Prime protein, and it satisfies your appetite and you are able to extend your fast another 4 hours, then that's probably a good thing. But if you're trying to extend your fast longer and you have those 2 teaspoons of prime protein and then stimulates your hunger and then you're ravenous, then that's
Probably
going
not
to be
the
counterproductive. So
yeah,
you have to know your goals and you have to know your own body and how it responds to that kind of thing.
definitely. Speaking of athletic greens, I had mentioned that I was trying to do a 30-day trial of athletic greens, and I got about halfway through the 30 days and then just fell off because KetoCon kind of came in the middle and I didn't want to have to think through that. And
Yeah.
also, I was just like ravenously hungry after I would consume the athletic greens. It just struck me like I must have food now. And so I was like, you know what, forget this mess. I was also having more breakouts, and that was the only real change that I had made to my consumption of foods. So I
Mm.
was like, you know what, forget that mess. And then I realized, like, after talking to Jeff, that maybe seeing it through to the end would be a more reasonable way to discern whether or not it was helpful or neutral or harmful for me. So I have another 30-day supply
Okay. All
because
right.
I only had enough for like half the month, and I was like, well, I'm going to have to go ahead and just get another 30 days to be able to do the actual experiment the way that I had it set out to be done. And the thing is like the flavor to me is still good. Like I still enjoy
Mhm.
that flavor, but ugh, the other
Yeah.
the other pieces of the puzzle are just like, oh, do I have to start doing this again? And I just got my 30-day supply actually on the porch today. So it was like, okay,
Oh,
here we
nice.
go. Here
Nice.
comes the hunger.
Can you do it like right before you're going to eat a meal?
Now, see,
Does that
that's a
help?
logical idea, and I will probably try to do it that way.
That
That
makes sense.
that would make much better sense given what I currently know about it and my
Yeah.
personal self. So,
Yeah.
you know, there
Try
we go.
that. Chris says he likes talking to Jeff. I
I
like
wonder
talking to
if
Jeff as
Neely likes.
well.
He's an
Yep.
interesting guy, and
That is an understatement.
I think what's the most endearing piece of the puzzle with Jeff that I experienced was the fact that if I didn't know an answer to something and I said I didn't know, like he just received that.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like some
Yeah.
people who feel like they have to come up with an idea or come up with a response on
Oh, yeah.
every little thing can sometimes, like, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
And if you can just, like, when my girls, when they don't know something, it's like, could you just tell me flat out I do not know? Like if you could
Yes.
just clearly articulate that instead of just kind of like hemming and hawing, then we can all move forward together.
Yeah. A
And
huge thing, a huge thing in our family that he has, been the instigator of is answering the question that was asked.
ooh,
Like
ooh.
no politician answers. So like if you ask a question, like, Levi, did you hit your sister? But she, and you go, no, no, no. Stop.
That's not the
Let's
question.
start over. Did you hit your sister? It is a yes or a no. And so that's something that we all have kind of adopted and try to work on. It is hard though.
It is very hard because usually our brains are already trying to reframe something to something that we are knowledgeable about or do
Mhm.
want to talk about rather than discussing what that other person is trying to figure out or
Yeah.
discuss or share.
Yeah. So one thing that I've noticed in our communication styles is I'm very much like I want to sugarcoat things. I want to, I don't want to offend anybody. I want to like smooth it out. And
Jeff doesn't.
yeah, I think you're more like Jeff in that he's like, no, it is more kind to just, be straightforward. Like, let's
Mhm.
not, try
Don't
to,
start. Well,
yeah,
I
just
there's
say what's true. And so like I'll respond, in a way that doesn't exactly answer the question because I'm trying to like be nice, but he
yeah.
doesn't see it as nice. He would see me just being blunt as nice. So like we have to we have to work on like speaking in a way that the other person finds kind, and then
Sure.
also changing our own, thoughts. Like so when he says something to me, I try not to take it as unkind because I know he's not
That's
meaning
not
it in
smart.
that way. He thinks it's kind to be blunt.
Yeah.
Anyway, marriage,
Marriage.
communication.
I do find that certain people I tend to go a little softer on, and other people I tend to go a
Yeah.
little harsher on, and that I think that that's um, discernment to a certain
Yeah.
degree. And I
Yes.
think that's kind of the overarching thing. Like for him, if you say, "Oh well, it's fine," it probably would not go well.
Yeah.
Yes, it's good, or no, it is not good, and this is why it is not good, or this is why it is good. Like my brain receives that very often well, but not from Jared. So with
Oh dear.
so it's one of those situations like discerning when I'm in that frame of mind, I can do it really well. But then there's other people in our life that do not live in the walls of our house where I'm a lot more gentle because the
Yeah.
backlash or the feelings that they will receive, like that
Yeah.
they'll have because of those words or because of that presentation and the way I say something, will crush them. And then all of a sudden we've got complete disunity in the entire community. And it's like World War XVII started. So
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah. You have to be aware of the person that you're
yeah.
speaking to and kind of know what they can handle and what they can't handle.
Yeah. And but
Um,
to Jeff's point, there are so many people in our friend circle that are so petrified, like absolutely like paralyzed from fear that they're going to
mm,
hurt someone's feelings if they were not included in something or if they didn't
right.
involved in another deal or whatever the situation may be. Like
Yes.
some of the moms, they went off to New York City for a quick weekend trip, and they were all so like hesitant to discuss it. And I'm like, I've
Well,
been to New York City a few times. I'm good. I don't
mm,
need to be invited on everything in order to feel like we're still friends. In fact, it was
yeah.
kind of you not to invite me because that would have been a lot more stressful to me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. You can definitely go off on either direction. Too
yeah.
too blunt, too careful to the point where
Yes.
you don't ever say the truth,
Right.
which that's a problem.
Oh yeah.
Um, so
Oh yeah.
Jared wanted to know, wait, what is the quote? Did you order the code red? What is that from?
A few good men.
Okay, I
You
don't.
can't handle the truth, is what Chris had
Okay,
said
okay, got it.
beforehand. You want answers? I
Okay.
want the truth.
I thought we were still talking about like ordering from Perfect Keto, and I was like, I've never heard of a Code Red product.
You're like health code or
I mean, we
the
did the
secret.
Energized Reds. Is there a Code Red, Energized Code Red? I don't know.
How do these things work together? I don't know.
Oh, my poor brain. My poor brain.
Jared's been
Um,
told he's a steamroller.
mm,
I will
yeah.
say this though. Also, Jared and I can both be exceptionally blunt and somewhat aggressive in our bluntness.
Okay.
And sometimes I will overhear him saying things to someone else. And I'm
Mm,
like, hey babe, sometimes people are more sensitive, even though it's not a thing they should be sensitive about.
mm,
That's a lot of that's a lot. And he'll be like, but you're not part of the whole conversation. Yeah,
mm.
you're not wrong. Also, he did come in like a wrecking ball.
Yep. Yep. Sounds about right. Yeah.
But
Jeff can come in like a wrecking ball too, but you know what? Sometimes wrecking balls are what you need.
I mean, if it's condemned building, you gotta knock it down somehow.
Okay? People could die.
People could die.
It's a good thing we have these blunt husbands.
Yes, I will say, as I've aged, I have become a lot more discerning about when I am blunt, and I will vent harder to him than I will
Mm,
be like, I'll be more harsh in my venting when I'm talking to him about an external situation than I will
mm,
be to that other person. And I think that helps to promote a little bit better unity amongst people, to like not let your anger have its full wrath like come out onto people.
mm. Yeah, that's probably good. Yeah. Yeah. There are definitely lines like just because you think it doesn't mean you have to say it. That seems
Oh,
like that seems like a reoccurring theme on YouTube in the comment section. You
that
don't
doesn't.
have to say it. Like it's fine to think it. You don't have like I don't know if anyone's ever told you this, but you don't have to say it.
That doesn't feel like a
Oh,
relief.
yeah.
Feels like a restriction that I need to rebel against.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, some I have had a few comments this week where I was just like, "Are you serious? Like you thought through this comment and you decided it was the right thing to say? I don't understand." Some people can.
I I will say that when you take the time and energy to type out something and then send the something, like, you know, that that means that there was enough time for you to have thought through what you're saying or what your thought is and then express it. So, Jared and I find that texting one another means that we're able to think through our statements
Mm. Yeah.
before saying them. And
Yeah.
that's very useful in our marriage. But I don't know that everybody takes that moment to reread
No.
the things that they thought and then shared. I don't know.
Yeah, I had a comment yesterday and it was like it was one of those really long like 3 paragraph comments and it was basically telling me that the only reason I make egg white bread recipes is for the commission on the expensive products and the egg white bread costs $1,000 and and like I blocked the person and the comment is like poof gone. And I'm like, you just spent how long crafting this 3 paragraph comment? And I picked one button gone. Didn't realize that that's an option for me. Like,
No.
oh, it's
No.
just shocking.
I like Chris's
Shocking.
response, but I would say instead of why are you like that, I would say, why are you the way you are?
Mm, yeah, it is.
Feels a
It
little
is
more.
something you could ponder for a long, long time.
I I don't know. It has to be pretty awful of a comment. Like it needs to have been explicit materials
Oh,
or like that realm of awfulness for me to block something.
mm,
Um so these people that are frustrated with me on my not never going back to KetoCon video that then take
oh,
the time to say that, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give you the opportunity to say that because that's you felt like you needed to say it. Here you go. You're allowed to say that. Now, if they were to put like explicit material in it, and then it's a no. But
yeah, yeah,
for the
yeah. The comment from
situation,
yesterday it started out with, I think it started out with something like, I've never made any of your recipes and I never will because blah, 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 blah. I'm like, why are you watching my video?
I have questions.
You're gonna take the time to watch my video and then you're gonna write a 3-paragraph comment? Like, what is wrong with you? Shocking.
I I don't know how to respond to that.
I do. Block. Like, let me help you out here. Maybe I'll save you some time by blocking your comments so you don't waste 20 minutes of your life writing mean comments to me.
Yeah, that
Like,
I
if you
don't
don't have the
understand.
self-control to not watch the video and not leave the comment, I'll just try to help you out as, that's all I can do.
Yeah, I can't fathom like the whole like I like to watch a variety of recipes, right? Not just the keto ones, not just like specialized diet friendly specific way of eating type things. Um and I've never once said, "Wow, I am never going to make your recipes because you are XYZ or because you do this that or the other." It's like
No. It's like, what is your
uh,
life that you would do that?
well,
How does
and then
your
if they
brain work?
my follow-up question would be, how many of my videos have you watched? How much time have you fully invested in this and
Yeah.
why?
Yeah, you won't invest the money in the ingredients, but you'll invest your time in my videos? Wow. You must
That's
really
dedication.
value my content. Sometimes you just have to laugh.
I
Sometimes.
mean, you do. You
Well,
really
and
do.
I posted there was another one this last week that I posted on Instagram because it's like I said, when you are a YouTuber for a while, you kind of come to expect certain criticism.
Yeah.
And you're like, when I post this is the kind of criticism I'm going to get.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just take you by surprise. And you're like, wow, I did not see that coming.
It was a pop fly. We didn't even know.
Yeah. Someone was saying that I was on Adderall and like that my pupils give it away. And I was like, wow, okay. Like, thank you.
I could
What
not
do you do with
fathom. I could not fathom trying to diagnose or trying to figure out what meds someone is or is not on hypothetically based on half of a video or 20 seconds of a video or even a 30-minute video. Like my eyes are probably frequently dilated because I drink so much coffee.
Well, and we have ring lights in our face. Like that's I don't know. Like that changes eyeballs. It's just one of those things where you're just like, what? What? And
Yeah.
it's like I'm not offended. Like I don't.
But it's just so
It's more.
bizarre.
It's more just like confusion.
Yeah.
What? Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how this comment came to be.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, like what was going on in your mind at that moment? I don't
Oh,
understand. I need to understand so that I can better understand the future you. But then that's a lot of work and I actually don't really
oh man, no, I see that kind of thing, I block. It doesn't have to be explicit. If it's rude to me, it's like this is my channel. It's like I don't allow people to come into my house and just like berate me with rude things or, my family, or even like I don't want to subject other viewers of my channel to that rudeness. And
Yeah.
so I clean it up. I clean up their mess so that other people don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, that is
And I mean, that's
probably
just the way that I've chosen. And there are some people that, are really just want everything to be left. And I totally understand that. The approach that I've taken though is just this is my house and I will clean it up. And if someone is coming into my house, I don't want them to be subjected to the rudeness and the mess of somebody else. So I will clean up that person's mess.
yeah. I think that is probably the most logical and understandable argument for getting rid of comments. It's for the sake of others because my thought process is that you know what, your words are going to be your words and I can ignore you. And I assume that everybody has, like the desire to ignore
Yeah.
things that are not, beneficial to them. But you're right, there are some people who are very affected by a lot of the things that they can see and read, and that is not kind to them. So I
Yeah.
do understand and appreciate the place from which you come.
Yeah. I also have found that, there's like this mob mentality where if they see someone else doing it, they're more likely, like certain people would never like take the initiative and do it unless they saw someone else do it and then they hop on. So I
Mhm.
do think that I cut down on the amount of trolls that I have because I really don't have a lot. Like
Yeah.
I I'm very happy with, my comment sections, and it's rare that I get someone that's just out to be mean. Um,
Mhm.
but I do think that getting rid of those initial ones that are just there to be rude or to be mean or critical in a mean way, it helps other people not just jump on the bandwagon.
That's also a
So
very
that's
good.
another reason why I'm quick to just clean it up.
Well, if the kids are cleaning the house, then you've got your own
Yeah,
space you gotta
there's
keep
always stuff I
clean.
have to be cleaning. Always.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Chris said, "You do not owe anyone a platform to disagree with you or insult you. They can earn a platform themselves if they want to create a social following." Absolutely. Like I'm not for censorship across the board.
Sure.
Everyone has the opportunity to start their own YouTube channel. That's the great thing about YouTube. Everyone has
Yeah.
the opportunity to have their Twitter account, to have their Facebook account, Instagram account. Like, I'm not trying to tell anyone else not to say things. I'm
Yeah.
only talking about my own personal space and corner in
Sure.
the social media world and how I choose to keep it for the people that come,
Yeah.
to be part
To
of it.
visit.
So, yeah, exactly.
It's good.
Exactly.
It's a good word. I like that.
Yeah.
So we are quickly approaching an hour and a half here. And
Whew.
when we
Oh, yeah.
initially started this, um, we decided it was going to need to be like 30 to 45 minutes tops. So clearly, clearly we cannot get out everything and tease out everything within that frame of time.
Yeah. So when I got kicked off earlier and I came back in, it like restarted my timer.
Oh,
So mine says an hour and 11 minutes. And I was like, oh yeah, we're a little over, but not bad. And then I'm like, oh, whoops, it's 11:30.
it is. It is. It is. Listen,
Oh
keto
dear.
simple. You took a nap and slept through most of this. Go watch the
So
replay.
disappointing.
Because you'll
So
find out that
disappointing.
Lindsay had a nap yesterday and slept through a brioche video. It's a good time. Also, Jared's getting tired, so that must mean it is time to tap out. Side
Wrap it
note,
up.
I have done almost no extra exercise since I don't even remember. Jared, when was the last time that we went on our walks? Because it's been a few days. He
Uh-oh.
maybe it was Saturday,
Mm.
question mark. So we've struggled much for the
Mm.
past several days to actually do our exercise. Um, so yeah, we're falling down on our end of the bargain. And I'm not
Yeah.
even going to ask you about your end of the bargain because I can tell by your enthusiastic face that you were so successful.
Well, I did mix up 250 pounds of chicken feed,
Didn't
which
you
included picking up 50-pound bags, picking up a different one, pouring a little bit, and go like trying to. It was a
balance?
whole thing. It was a big workout. It was a
Yeah.
workout. It
Okay.
just it was strength training. It was cardio. I had to carry bags downstairs to the basement. It was a workout. So
So
I did that.
you eat the proper human diet and you occasionally lift some heavy things and you're going to be
Yeah.
okay.
And I went on a hike. So there you
Okay.
go.
All right. You win
I'm
the
good.
week.
I'm
You
happy
win.
with myself.
Jared said that it was either Friday or Saturday the last time we went on our walk, and we will
Okay.
be doing it tonight.
Oh,
So,
good. As long as you're feeling okay. Because it is okay to
well,
take breaks and rest if you're sick.
I might not like push the pace as hard as I was trying to previously. Like my goal was that we would get 2 miles in 30 minutes, like pushing a 15-minute walk pace, right? And we got pretty close one of the days. I thought we were doing about an 18-minute mile pace, but then we got home and it was like just barely over 16-minute miles. And I was like, well, look at that. And we weren't even like trying to push hard on that time. So it's like the longer you do it, the more
Mm,
stamina you develop and the better you kind of
yeah.
like keep pushing forward and whatnot. So I think it's probably going to be a bit of a slower pace on my end. I'm sure Jared will, we do spurn one another on to
Good.
greatness. So he will
Good.
probably try to encourage me.
Yes. Jeff just signed up to do a Spartan race. He had a friend invite him to do it. I think it's a 5K at some farm. And so he's getting into the whole training thing, you know. So I was actually gonna
The
let him
best
try.
athletes need
I
some.
was gonna let him try these
There you go.
because I thought he might like that.
The best athletes really need a solid cheer section. So,
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
and if there's like any kind of like endurance anything, they also need people to be holding those little tiny cups of water on the side of the race path.
Exactly. Yeah, the Gatorade people.
Gatorade people.
The element people.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Jared said that if I'm well enough to be on YouTube, I'm well enough to walk. Yes, you're not wrong.
Tough love. He's
I
very
just might
blunt.
not be pushing as hard as I normally would. Okay. All right, y'all.
Yeah,
Next week, we're going to be over on Nili's channel because we do the back
I
and
will.
forth and switching and the flip flopping and all that jazz. So
Mhm.
be sure that you're like logged in over at Nili's channel, subscribed, notification thingies. Like I'm not very good at encouraging other people to do that, but if you do that, you're not going to miss next week and our chat of all the things that we have no clue what it'll be about.
It'll be
But
really exciting, whatever it is. It always
it'll
is.
it'll always be the two of us.
And you guys can always bring questions. Like we answer
Oh
several
man,
questions.
yeah.
So if you have some burning questions, because I get a lot of comments and I cannot reply to all of them. So probably in our live chats is the best way to get your comments and questions answered from
Yeah.
at least me. Lindsay's
Same.
probably better at replying to people in comments than I am.
I'm
I
really
wish.
not good. It's a show about nothing. That's right. It's
Yeah.
the modern version of Seinfeld,
Yes. But
but
somewhat
we're
somehow there's always something.
I know, and we just happen to be in the bizarro world.
Hmm.
I loved
Yeah.
that episode of Bizarro Jerry. Okay, that's all we got for y'all today. Thank you so much for being here, and we will see you next time. Bye, y'all.
Bye everybody.